So what are the best value hockey skates of 2024 and what's the best value hockey sticks of 2024? We get a lot of stick on this channel, excuse the pun, for always looking at top spec flagship models that are super expensive. But what about stuff that's actually affordable for a bigger variety of players that are out there? Let's get into it in this video. And of course, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, what are you doing at this point? Make sure that you subscribe. You always come back to watch the videos. Click the subscribe button. It's free, helps the channel to grow, helps us get access to more products. Make sure you subscribe before we jump in. Now, of course, all of the information about sticks that I'll be touching on is coming directly from the Hockey Tutorial stick specialist, Tommy. He couldn't be here for this shoot, so I'm kind of relaying his information. And of course, anything we reference in this video, there'll be a full link down below in the video description so you can watch the VS video or the full review where we go into a lot more detail about it. But of course, skates being my thing, I'm the skates guy, I'm going to start with skates. Now, I've hinted so many times about the fact that we've got the SMU skates from North America, Source for Sports, which are exclusive lines of skates where Source for Sports is able to speak with manufacturers and essentially create mixtures and mergers of different models of skates and fuse them into one. Now, typically with SMU products, the ones that we're looking at here, they're 2 to 3 models below the flagship model. Now, the two SMU products that we have are the Bauer Matrix skates, which are from the Supreme range, and also the CCM Control skates, which are from CCM's Jet Speed range. I think these SMU products are some of the best value for money products that you can get. But the problem is they're not really marketed that well. If you go online, especially with the Bauer Matrix skates and also the Control skates from CCM, there's no information about them in terms of reviews that some of these stores do, which I always think is really weird. But we're going to try, if we can get our hands on more of them, to keep making more videos about them. Now, I've been using the Bauer Matrix skates for some time now, the CCM Control skates for quite a long time. Tommy's used them as well. You might have spotted them in a few videos that we've already filmed, but what are they like? What's the performance like? Let's get into all of that in this video. Now, of course, side note before we jump into the video, if you're after the limited edition Hockey Tutorial camo jerseys that Tommy's always wearing in our videos, today being the 4th of November, 2024, this is the last day that you can order those jerseys for delivery, worldwide delivery before Christmas. So if you want those jerseys and you want them before Christmas, this is the last time that you can order them. But if you're not bothered about when you get them, bear in mind the 18th of November will be the cutoff and that jersey will be gone and you can never get it again. Now, of course, the other merch is available, the Hockey Tutorial stick curve hats in black and also in beige, and also the I Am Hockey sweatshirts and also hoodies. They come in the beige that I've got on now, they come in grey, they come in black, as well as the other Hockey Tutorial classic jerseys, which are also custom. All of our jerseys are custom made, your name, your country flag on the back, and also your personal number. The link will be down below to be able to pick those up, but make sure you do it before the cutoffs so you don't miss out. Let's jump back into the video. Now, when we look at the first one I'm going to touch on is going to be the CCM Control skate. It's the one that I've spent the most time in and the one that I'm crazily impressed with. Now, there's so many players out there in hockey that are using flagship models of skates that really don't need to spend that amount of money. They could go for a model below top spec or even a few models below top spec and have the same amount of life out of them and the same amount of enjoyment and support for their particular needs and requirements. So many players out there are overspending on skates. Now, I'm in top spec skates all the time testing them. Do I need them to play games? Does my ability and time on the ice warrant top spec skates or flagship model skates? Definitely not, but I need to test them for the videos that we produce for you guys. Now, when I'm not filming and I'm actually playing, I'm either in true skates, which I touched on a separate video, I'll link it down below, when I did the Shadows versus the XFs versus the 9X4s from True. Those skates are phenomenal. The 7X4s are also phenomenal as well, but we'll touch on that in a separate video. The skates that I use the majority of the time are the Control skates from CCM. I think those skates are phenomenal. The stiffness is pretty much ideal for the amount of time I'm spending on the ice. Am I going to burn through them because of the stiffness a bit quicker than a top spec pair of skates or flagship? Probably, but in terms of me trying to get a year out of these skates, that's more than adequate. Now, when we look at the performance of what these skates are like, without looking down at my feet and remembering that I'm in the Control skates from CCM, they feel to me closest to the FT6s, not the FT6 Pros, because those are just a little bit stiffer, but the FT6s. The refinements and the comfort in the FT6 Pros is a little bit more elevated than what you get in the Control skates from CCM, but not so much that you feel like you are uncomfortable. You just get a lot more padding in the higher model skates. Now, those skates, the Control skates, are going to benefit so many players out there that are maybe a similar build to me or are only on the ice maybe once or twice a week and you're not, too big, too built, too heavy. Those skates don't get anywhere near as much attention as I think that they should. And I feel like you would think that some of the brands that sell these and stock these would do more to promote them, because they're not kind of like, something that you want to pick up because it's a lower cost and it doesn't perform well, but you can kind of make do with it. They're phenomenal. And I really think that they do need to get much more attention. Like I said, when you're on the ice, using the FT6 Pros, the FT6s, and then jumping into the Control skates, or even the FT680s, which is what they're based off of, you don't feel like you're in a pair of FT680s. FT680s don't have anywhere near the same refinements as you do in the Control skates. The Control skates have the same tongue featured on the FT6 Pros, which is the Adapt tongue. The refinements in the padding is very similar to what you get in the FT6 Pros. The tendon, even the toe cap or the toe box. Of course, the quarter package or the boot is a little bit softer than what you'd get in the more elite model skates. But like I said, for a lot of players out there, those are a phenomenal pair of skates that really should be given a chance. Now, when we look at Bauer's Matrix skates, this is where I got a little bit surprised. You guys know from the videos that I filmed already, I'm not a fan of the Shadow skates. I don't like the way they feel. Now, although they're from the same range as the Matrix skates, I feel I have an easier time skating in the Matrix skates. I'm not saying like, oh, they're great. Like I said in my previous video, which I'll link down below, when we did True versus Bauer versus CCM, you need to spend time in them if you've never used a pair of the new range of Supreme skates from Bauer to be able to adjust to the boot height or the boot cut and the general shape and performance of the skate. But once you do, you kind of have to work harder to get there from my perspective. But once you do, they are a phenomenal pair of skates. I feel like the Matrix skates have hit the nail on the head in many, many ways. It features the same curved composite upper as you get in the Shadows. It has the same Aerofoam Plus technology foams. It's got the same reflex tongue. Now, of course, it's not as padded or as springy, you could say, as what you get in the Shadow skates, which is of course understandable because typically the SMU skates that we're looking at right now are essentially 2 to 3 models below the flagship models from manufacturers. So it's always worth mentioning that, but they have features from the top flagship models and also the model below the top flagship incorporated into this fusion skate. That's what you get with the CCM Control skates and the Bauer Matrix skates. Phenomenal. The only suggestion I've got in terms of what I would do to both of these skates to improve the performance on them is to switch out the steel. The Control skates don't come with good quality steel, so feel free to rip those off and put some DLC steel on there, which is what I would do personally. Exactly the same thing with the Bauer Matrix skates. Both of these skates are phenomenal, but the blades are what let them down. If you pick up third-party blades that are proper DLC coated, you'll have a great experience with these skates. I've got to give a special mention or an honorable mention in this video for best value skates of 2024, and that's going to go to Rush and also True Hockey. Now, True Hockey actually have an SMU that we've not gotten our hands on yet, but if we do get our hands on True's SMU, I'll do a video where we go True's SMU against Bauer's SMU against CCM's SMU. So hopefully we can make that happen. Now, pivoting from there onto sticks, remember, I'm not the stick guy. I'm not going to pretend to be the stick guy. This is coming from Tommy, who unfortunately can be here for this studio video. But with sticks, value for money, I think at no surprise is going to be KYC. KYC sticks have taken us by complete storm. These guys have produced a stick that is easily comparable with flagship model sticks from all of the major brands. We've just done a low kick point test. The hybrid and mid kick point video, which is going to be one video together, is coming soon. It'll be out in about a week, so bear with us, it's coming. KYC definitely gets the top spot for most affordable and insane performing stick. Of course, the review for that stick will be linked down below if it's available, or the VS against other brands. Those are already live and I'll link those down below for you to check out. Now, if you want a bit more information about the KYC stick, it's a low kick point stick that features carbon fiber and boron. It is an incredibly well-performing stick. It is well-balanced and essentially phenomenal at every type of shot. A low kick point stick is not meant to take slap shots and one-timers as disrespectfully as the KYC stealth stick can. So if you want to check out those videos, the full videos where Tommy gives you all of the information about them, those will be linked down below. The next best value stick is, of course, again, another low kick point stick, this time surprisingly from CCM. Now, it's not going to be a flagship model because this is value, best value sticks. This is very surprisingly the Trigger 9, not the Trigger 9 Pro, not the Trigger 9K. If you're familiar with CCM's brand new Trigger release of sticks, it goes in terms of flagship model, it's the 9 Pro from the Trigger range. Below that is the 9K, which is the second price point down from the top. And then the third price point down from the top is the 9, which is very unusual because normally 9 Pro being flagship, you would expect the 9 to be the one below the top spec, but they've switched it around a little bit now, it's 9K. But if you watched the video where we looked at the full range of sticks from CCM's Trigger release, The 9, being 3 models below top spec, outperformed the 9K, which is the model above it. The 9 had better feel for the puck, and of course it being a trigger, the release was fire, and it was just a well-balanced stick at being able to take pretty much any type of shot that you need to take on the ice. So that's definitely got to get a mention in this video. The 9 being the 3rd price point down from the flagship model from CCM's Ripcord trigger range, that's going to be an absolute steal of a stick that you guys need to consider picking up if low kick is your thing. But bearing in mind from the review, it still takes slap shots, still takes one-timers incredibly well. Last but not least with the sticks is going to be the Barrel Mist 1 stick, which is another affordable stick, this time available in Europe. I know KYC is in the process of setting up European distribution, so you guys have to hold tight for that stick to be available to order in the UK and also in the rest of Europe, so you don't have to pay crazy shipping rates to be able to get it into the UK. I understand the price point that we gave you in the video doesn't apply if you're shipping the stick across the Atlantic, but that will soon change, so just bear in mind, keep an eye on their social media, KYC Hockey social media, and also their website to get more updates on that. But when we look at Barrel's Mist 1, that's a stick that is available in Europe and is a phenomenally performing stick when compared to the big price point sticks that are out there, the flagship models. It performs essentially on par with a lot of those sticks. We've just done a low kick battle. It's a low hybrid kick point stick, but we still featured it in that video. And you can check that video out down below to see which big name brands that it was able to outperform. That's another phenomenal stick that is definitely worth picking up if you're trying to find something that is good value for money, but doesn't compromise on performance. Now, the weight of that stick isn't as great or as low, you could say, as some of the other top flagship model sticks. There are sticks out there that are lighter than it, but in terms of its price and its performance, it is an absolute steal and definitely worth you guys picking up. All of the links and all of the reviews for any products I've mentioned in this video will be down below. But hopefully this was insightful, just sharing some of the information about what I think are the best value skates of 2024 and also the best value hockey sticks of 2024. If there's any sticks out there you think that we should check out or any new manufacturers, comment down below, let us know. But big thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. And don't forget, very soon, towards the end of this year, we're going to be dropping the HockeyTutorial Gear Awards of 2024, where we will go into lots of detail about which manufacturers have done the best this year. Take care till next time.